Hey guys, so today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make fake blood my way. It is completely Briar Horse safe. It is a little sticky though, just saying. You guys might know where I'm going with this or might not. And I'm also going to be teaching you guys how to make a fake wound in general, my way. And this was inspired by a few different YouTubers. So anyways, let's get on with the video. So the things you will need to make your fake blood is a bowl, red food dye or pink dye, preferably red food dye, a skewer, which is basically a long toothpick, and some honey. So the first thing you guys are going to want to do is you're going to want to pour a desirable amount of honey into your bowl. Now, I didn't pour very much because I wasn't very sure how much I wanted to make, but I definitely make more than this because it doesn't actually make that much. Then just add a few drops of red food coloring and mix really well. I ended up using a lot of food dye because the honey is so transparent that I really wanted to give it a dark color and it just wasn't getting there. You can also add blue food coloring if you want to make it have a little bit of texture or whatever you want to call it, but don't add too much blue because you don't want to make it purple. I didn't put any blue food dye in mine and mine's doing just fine. It's just if you don't have enough red food dye. Once again, be really careful with the blue. It does impact it a lot because the blue is usually more pigmented than the red, so just a warning. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put that in a safe place, like a little tiny container like what I used. I used a little itty bitty container, and if you do decide that you still don't think it's the right color, you can always just add it inside the little container you put it in. It doesn't have to be little, it could be big, but it's preferably small because most likely you're not going to want to use that much blood in your movie or whatever. And the things you will need for your wound are tissue, the fake blood you've just created, washable glue, it has to be washable or else it won't come off the horse, and a makeup palette. This is optional. You can use a makeup palette. I'm using this makeup palette. It's called Naked Urban Decay Heat. And I am using this color second to the end, Ashes. The brush I used is called Morphe M421. Basically a really small makeup brush for your eyes. And the last thing you need is a Briar Horse, obviously. I'm using Highwind just because I feel like she would look really cool. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pick a side and choose where you want to put your wound. Once you've decided, you start putting on the washable glue. Once you're finished putting on the washable glue, you're going to want to start putting on some of the tissue or paper towel depending on what you're deciding to use. I forgot to say you can use paper towel, it just won't look that great. I've used it before, it doesn't look that great. Tissue is harder to work with though, so if you're willing to put in more time, I'd recommend using tissue. But anyways, split your tissue into 2 or 3. They should peel off easily, and then just start taking piece by piece off and just slowly put on all of the tissue in that area. Once you're happy with the design you have, just keep adding layers. It doesn't matter how many layers you have. I added about 2 to 4. 2 is recommended. 2 is like the minimum, and then 4 is like, I feel like the maximum, depending on how deep you want it to look and stuff like that. Now, something I forgot to do in the video is I also forgot to say, if you really want to make it pop out and you want to make it look deep, I definitely recommend taking a washable red marker and putting little dark red areas on the wound, color it in, and put like little darker areas so it'll look like it'll have like depth, like, you know, muscle and tissue and, you know, etc. Then just start applying your blood And don't put too much right now, just cover it up. And then once you have all of your blood onto the wound and it's all covered, all the white's gone, all the red's gone or whatever, then you're gonna want to take your makeup palette. Once again, this is optional. If you decide you did not want to use makeup, then this does not apply to you. But if you did decide to use makeup, I would take the dark purple. Now this can work with any palette, that's just the palette I'm using. Just take any dark shaded purplish brownish color and put it around the wound. Now this is going to make it look like it's kind of like infected or bruising or whatever. Once you've brushed on all of your eyeshadow areas, just like around the wound, then now you can go crazy with the blood. Just let it drip all over the place, get it everywhere, whatever, and, you know, make it drip. Now, my type of blood is very thick, so it's not the type that'll go, like, running down super quickly. It's actually just meant to stick there and stay. It does drip if you put enough on, but it's not really the type of stuff to just go runny, which I don't really like the runny stuff. I like the thick stuff because then you can make it go where you want it to go. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember, rate, comment, subscribe, and follow me on my social medias down in the description below. And one more thing. I have recently changed my Instagram to Fina the Stargazer. It's a new account, and I decided to dedicate all to YouTube because the other one was my personal Instagram, so I decided to make one just for YouTube. So if you guys want to follow my YouTube, Instagram, I'm available right there. So yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!